Oh,
good morning.
Good morning.
How are you all? Hope you're doing okay.
We're well. Are you well?
We're well. Yeah, we are well.
Good weekend. Did you watch that craziness last night?
No, I never saw it.
Oh, dude, it was nuts.
I saw DJ hit it to 40-something feet on the 18th and went,
You're like,
it's
I'll
done."
go to bed.
Yeah, I was like, it's done.
That's how I felt.
So I never even looked at it.
I left the TV on, and as soon as he made, I almost jumped out of my seat. I'm like, what the hell's going on?
I
That
know.
never happens.
Ever.
Like that, this is to force a playoff. He's got a hole. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
great.
especially a big snake like that, big double snake.
It was a double snake. Kind of like reaches the crest and just
I know.
trickles over. And then Rom doing the same thing.
Well, that's what all I saw on social media was Ram's celebration. I'm like, what is he running about the green celebrating for? He finished about an hour before everyone.
Yeah.
And he just shot a good score. What's he running about for? And then I read it was a playoff.
Yeah, playoff. And you're like, how could that be a playoff?
Yeah.
I know. It was nuts.
Completely missed it.
There was literally a roar, even though it was just volunteers.
I know,
There was.
I know.
If you watch the replay, it's like, whoa.
There was a lady at the back of the green going nuts.
Yeah, she was feeling it. She was feeling it.
Did you play?
I did. You?
Nice.
Couple rounds.
Yeah, I just hit some balls.
Good.
Club championship this weekend. So
Oh yeah. You're saying it's like crazy match play.
it's crazy match play, which
Yeah.
is great. They do a really good job at the club actually.
You were saying that thing is wild. Yeah.
They everyone has caddies and stuff like that. Normally they have the boiler suits.
Oh, really?
Yeah, certainly they used to.
The full deal?
The full deal, and
Wow.
they make a big deal out of it. And there's crowds come out and watch the finals and stuff like that.
That's great.
But I think because of COVID, all that stuff's been kind of put in the back burner. So
As it has to be.
as it has to be.
It's good.
So yeah, no, it's good.
Good. Relaxing.
Indeed. We want to just start with a little update,
yes.
or a little competition update. I know you guys have been eagerly waiting, as have we.
We have also been.
The good news is we have a final. We have 8 contestants.
I am looking at 8 submissions in my emails. I have them all.
See the size of the smile on their face. We now have,
Have
8
them all.
contestants.
We did have to redraw 2,
We had to redraw. Yeah, we had to redraw a couple of times.
but it worked out.
It was, yeah. So everyone who has been a winner or has been selected has been notified. They have reached back out. So the videos, their submissions are.
So I have them all. So what I'm going to
you
do?
have all their
yeah.
submissions as well.
Oh yeah. I've got all the bios. I got everything.
What a day this is!
I know. So this week, as a bonus video,
Yeah.
probably you'll see it later in the day on one of our video days. You'll see all 8 submissions, and the
That's
voting
cool.
will open. I don't know what day yet, but this week
That is very cool.
it should
Well,
be good.
I'm
I haven't
excited.
even watched them yet.
Yeah.
I'm watching.
Maybe watch lunch today. Maybe watch a couple.
We should watch
of
a
them.
couple. I like that idea.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a shame because we were so fired up, getting to the 100K. You
Yes.
guys were as well. Obviously, I have no idea how the people who won didn't kind of get the email from us.
That's what I thought. So, our buddy Mitch from FootJoy, who's providing the prize package, he emailed me back and just was like, just curious what's going on. And I let him know, 2 guys haven't responded, like unbelievable, right? And he's like, no, not really. That happens all the time.
Really?
He's like, it happens all the time with contests. It's basically just part of the deal. So we shouldn't feel like it's anything but routine. Now it's unbelievable to me that someone would enter a contest and somehow lose access to their email address, but
well,
not our problem.
Exactly.
We tried. We gave them like 12 days. Like you had plenty of time to check.
Someone's loss is someone else's gain in this instance. So,
Yep.
guys, we're fired back up now, and we're really looking forward to sort of getting those entries in.
People are gonna love watching those.
Yeah, it's going to be fun and good to hear what you guys think, and there'll be some great candidates. I'm sure there'll be some cool stories come out of this thing.
They do seem to be different ranges of ages and skill abilities, just based on me giving a quick scan.
That's
it's been
perfect.
interesting
That's
stuff.
exactly what we want.
I've got what's in the bags for everybody too. It's good.
The golf and X Factor. Let's see your audition.
X Factor. Canada's Got Talent.
Exactly.
All right. Anything else? Any other housekeeping items?
So with some new product in the store, Ventus Hybrid has been installed in both of our clubs.
Allow me to bring that over. That's nice to see.
So big shout to the guys at Fujikura for getting that to us.
They were on it, weren't they?
I mean, this is drawn from tour stock right now, so really fortunate to get these parts. But
Ventus, HB.
Ventus Blue 9X and 10TX. That 10TX is just a post.
So you hit that in your P790.
Yeah, I had it on the weekend. We'll wait and see. I mean,
yeah, it's not moving around much.
no. It's it's not. So I built them. I've made a couple of little unique kind of modifications to the build as well. So it'll be interesting to see when we both hit them what we think.
Love it.
We shall see. So it'll be good.
New Titleist Tour Speed balls are here.
Yeah. Tell us, guys, if any of you have tried the Tour Speed, what your thoughts are. I'm curious to
any early adopters
to try see what they're like.
The commercials basically just started over the weekend.
Right.
When you asked me about it, I was like, I literally just started seeing commercials.
Yeah.
So they're fresh off the press.
New Graphite design shaft just landed.
Graphite
design
HD.
So the Hyperdrive.
Is that what it stands for? Are they all
I think
acronyms?
it's Hyperdrive. Yeah.
What does IZ stand for?
Oh,
Because that's a hard
I can't
one.
remember. DI was Deep Impact, wasn't it?
We're gonna look up what IZ
The
means.
BB was the Blue Bullet.
Somebody tell us what IZ means. Hyperdrive.
Hyperdrive. Take your golf ball. Hyperdrive.
Maximum drive.
Oh,
And we're gonna do, it's basically by popular request, but I think the live Mizuno thing was awesome. We loved it. I think everyone loved it. Just got a ton of people saying, would you still do like a review of them, like a compact kind of 15-minute review? So we'll do that as well. And we're both going to hit. You're going to hit more than me actually, because there's 4 irons that you need to hit. But we'll just make it a nice little roundup of that series.
Yeah. No, we were really impressed. I think with that last week, and
so impressed.
Interesting impact zone. Into the zone.
Into the zone.
Impact zone.
I like into the zone.
I know. Isn't the Tour Speed just the EXP01? Actually, Michael, I mean, I actually haven't had the confirmation on that. That's the assumption. Now, the thing with these prototypes is when we got the EXP01, basically they told us this is a concept golf ball at this point.
Yes.
The chances are it will change by the time.
Yeah. So who knows how much of it is even still in that
I know.
DNA of it.
Is it really into the zone? That's so funny. And now we're all like, what was the DJ? The disc jockey.
There was a DJ? A disc jockey?
The red and white one. And then
I don't think I ever saw that.
There was like MJ, MT, GT. That was a nice blue and silver one. I mean, there's so many. We've talked about this. We would really like to do, guys, let us know if you would like us to do like a deep rundown on the Graphite design.
A deep impact.
A deep dive.
Let us know if you want to do a DD, deep dive.
That's known as the Graphite design DD, the deep dive into the full lineup. I think that would be good.
I agree. I think people would be into that.
That'd
be
good. One little thing, and I normally do these teasers at the start of the end of the videos, but it doesn't leave us too much time because I love hearing from you guys and getting your feedback on different ideas.
Yeah.
But I would love to know what you guys, or if you would like, if it'd be of value to have a TXG pre-owned site for equipment that is in a second life cycle, right? So whether that's demo equipment in these drawers that is no longer in the line, like RTX4, basically no longer in our lineup. So we've just moved a full line of Zipcore in there. Epic Flash, M5, M6. I mean, these heads literally have never seen a shot outside. They've just been hit indoors. They're immaculate. And we obviously have there's a secondary market for getting that stuff out there. But I think with the channel and with the kind of community that we've got, why not kind of give it as an option to the guys and make that something that's available.
It's a fair amount of stuff every year.
It's a lot. I mean, I found a couple of boxes worth of stuff the other day.
Like 2019 stuff?
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Yeah.
And what do you generally do with it, though? You can't go back to the...
No, so generally, I mean, some stuff is on consignment with the manufacturers.
Okay.
Some stuff it just goes into, whether it's eBay sales or stuff like that, and things like that. But
it's kind of on you to...
Yeah, so it's completely on us to get rid of it. So, I would love there to be like a TXG pre-owned version. I mean, all the shafts and stuff like that we get. I mean, there's so many shafts. They're still great shafts. They're no longer held in stock, so we can't buy it anymore and things like that. So
I think you're getting a lot of yeses.
Yeah, if Matt signs one, it's smart. Matt will sign it. He promises he'll sign it.
Every single driver, right on the face, right in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
I actually think there's a few people saying about kind of have Matt's stuff then. I think, honestly, the stuff that you recycle through, I think you could, there'd be a nice Matt's market.
Matt's corner?
Yeah.
It didn't used to be much
That's
of a
his
corner,
corner.
but it's growing now.
I know.
I look at my garage yesterday, I'm like, you actually are starting to collect a lot of clubs.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yep, that's the way it should be.
Absolutely.
The way it should be.
All right.
All right, so good. Yeah, let us know, guys.
Keep popping that in there.
keep popping those in there. Suggestions for little TXG pre-owned site, and if that one gathers some momentum, you should probably see it fairly soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
No reason why not.
No.
All righty. Do you know, I mean, that's one. I mean, we haven't really done, other than my own fit, we've never really done a dive into the 201, even the 101 or the 201.
No.
I think we should do like a little Mura.
You just bought them.
I know. We should do a little Mura review day. So you do the 801, the cavity, and the 901, which is the lefty blade.
Right.
You do those two, and I'll do the TC201 and the 101.
101's the blade, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah.
You're right. We've certainly talked about it.
Talked about it a lot, and obviously my fit and I get fit into them.
But the last time we actually did mirror irons was quite a while ago.
It was quite a while ago.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Shall we?
Yeah, let's dive on in
Start
there.
popping in some questions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, starting with a shaft question.
Okay.
So we've got Maverick Pro irons, True Temper Elevates and X-Flex. It's a 915 D2 driver. Okay, change the driver.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a 9 in front of it and it's a Titleist, change that driver.
Yeah, definitely.
Such a good deal too on TS drivers right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to kind of make an assumption based on the other information around it, though, that you have a fairly low ball flight.
Because of the elevates?
Yeah, because of the elevate, and even the D2, if that was a fitted product, so the D2 over D3 might be, this fitter may have been looking for something with the CG a little bit deeper back there. So
yes.
Maybe not the worst head in the world. Like we've hit, Titleist stuff in the past. I remember when we were hitting 917 specifically, and we did say at the time, there is a customer who this is actually really good for.
A little more elevation.
Yeah,
right?
it's the player who's trying to kind of get it up in there a little bit more. So
good point.
It might not be the worst thing based on all the other information around there, but it would need to have that set of circumstances where you're hitting a bit on the low side.
Gotcha. Probably best to go for a little fit and compare.
Go for a wee fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, why don't we'll do our usual. You can grab present, I will grab past.
Sounds good. Let's see. Bandit afternoon Bandit.
Hello, Bandit.
Jeremy. Ian, let's talk about G425. What are your pre-release thoughts so far, worth the wait? Well, first thing, I mean, I know a lot of you want to talk G425. Obviously, like you guys know with embargoes and stuff like that, we can't really get into too much. So we can talk about what we all see in the pictures and things like that. I've hit it, I've seen it, I've seen all the heads so far. So I have my own thoughts on that stuff. But it's more of the same, right? So I think that's fair to say.
It's probably an update, right?
Yeah, 425. They have a winning formula.
They do.
I mean, I can't dive into the details. There's a bunch of things that people really like about those heads that are not changing, right?
Right.
So
you shouldn't be afraid of losing the good stuff.
Definitely.
Is it the same progression? There's an LST, there's an SFT, and a somewhat normal head?
Yes.
Is that close enough?
Yeah.
That's what I saw on that conforming list. So there's a max, though. I saw a max.
There's a max. Yeah, so it's not a plus, there's a max.
So they just changed the name of plus to max.
Yeah. So
everyone calls their driver max.
I know.
Everyone calls their driver max.
Maverick Max.
Sim Max. Ether Max. No. Titleist Max coming 2022. TXG Max.
So that's that. Really impressive numbers from it when I was testing it. I think everyone will be really, really happy with that. But
I know you can't say
Ping and Titleist. Let's just say this: Ping and Titleist generally, go forward at a slower rate. You don't tend to see them making massive changes the way that like TaylorMade or Callaway are quite happy to rip up the script.
Agree.
Every other year or something, just go like TaylorMade will go from doing what was the one like SLDR into M1?
Yeah, totally.
That's a whole different deal. When you start like going from like an all titanium head and stuff, and then you've got like a T-track and carbon and the things that have a massive carbon crown and white and black, and
I know.
Like that's a whole different thing.
It was a rip up, you're right.
You don't tend to see that from Titleist and Ping. So one thing I will say is don't expect is a lot of people are talking about the features that are kind of familiar on Ping stuff. Don't expect too much to change.
Yeah,
that's all.
Especially when it could arguably be one of the best drivers made in the last 10 years.
Yeah. Our good friend Chris Freitag, a big thank you to you, Chris and Greg at TXG, with the fitting and build around my wife's new irons.
Nice.
Never heard so many wows. Fabulous. Yeah, I mean, guys, I really want to awesome. Kind of touch on that for Chris, because a lot of us have, a lot of you guys, maybe have partners that play, wives that play, girlfriends, etc. Custom clubs don't have to come at the $5,000, $6,000 price tag that people believe they do.
Agree.
Chris's wife has been through the process. I've had some customers coming through the process recently, and they've, budget constraints, but there's still great product out there. But still, there is a lot of product that can help them. Mm-hmm. Ping have the GLE2 line. That's a great line of clubs.
That's what I bought for Lindsay.
It was, that's right.
Should see some of the hybrids she hit.
It's amazing, isn't it?
The 7 hybrid she hit, I just about fell over.
I mean,
so good.
I done a fit for a female customer the other day, and she's hitting 7 iron, and then she hit 7 hybrid twice the height.
Yeah.
Literally twice the height. Now, the hard bit for her is she's like, oh, I don't really want that. I don't really think but you do. You trust me.
Yeah, you want that.
And you try and explain to them, your customers, when you play with a good player, what's the one thing you admire? The height, the ball flight. It's they're able to get the ball out of difficult lies and stuff like that. True. You can have that stuff too.
Yeah.
You just have to have the right tools.
That's very true.
Just because you have a different tool in your hand to achieve the same result doesn't make it wrong.
Absolutely. I mean, you got Kevin Na, who hits hybrid on holes that DJ will hit 5 iron.
Absolutely.
But who cares? Like he hits the ball 112 feet in the air. It stops like a butterfly. And
you can't revere the guy who does it with a 3 iron more than the guy who does it with a hybrid just because he's doing it with a 3 iron.
I know.
It doesn't make sense.
It's just an ego thing, right?
100%.
Just an ego thing. Yeah.
100%.
But that's good.
Yeah, nice to hear, Chris.
Chris, glad to hear it.
Thanks for the feedback, pal.
There's definitely a satisfaction to taking the old misses out and seeing them do well.
It's 100%.
Very enjoyable.
Yeah.
All right, from Adam. Adam is swinging his 6 iron 94 miles an hour, currently plays Modus 120S. He wants to get something heavier. Mm-hmm. Okay, any other suggestions besides just basically going up in flex?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily, 94 grams, so Project X65 would be a really good one. I would like you to go up in weight and flex, so you're 114.6 grams in the Modus 120 right now.
Based on flex?
Yeah, so so I'd like to see you jump up about 10 grams and also stiffen the profile slightly.
Nice.
So I think something like a Project X65 would be a really, really nice option.
All right, Adam, Project X65 for you.
Simon, what do you suggest for beginners without a stable swing? I've been borrowing but need to buy for my lessons. I'm looking for cheapest set off the shelf, Rogue and Woods, 900 pounds reasonable. Definitely, Simon, and again, lose the off the shelf tag. You don't need to, just because that's your budget. We done the sub 70 review last week, right? So there's a perfect example. Great, really good clubs, great price point. And you can have those custom fit. You can get the right length, shaft, grip size, loft lie, all those sorts of things. Just because you have a budget constraint, don't think that takes you out of the fitting bay and into the big box store to buy off the shelf. It's not the way. Still get what you need, because ultimately, if you're looking at it that way, you're basically saying to yourself, I'm quite happy to burn £900 because as soon as I fix my swing, I'm going to go and get custom fitted anyway. Think of it longer term than that. Mm-hmm. Think of it like, I'm going to get a set of irons that are good for me right now, but can also be bent and customized further down the line be modified. Then they'll last you way longer and you'll get way more value out your £900 than that.
That's great advice. That's the thing. I mean, you could get £900 is close to $2,000 here. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure we put together a set of sub 70s for that amount.
I know,
didn't we?
Almost a full set.
Oh, it was a full set. No, it was $1,500 US.
I know.
So he's laughing.
Yeah, could get something.
That was driver to putter.
Yeah. So again, again, probably the companies, Simon, like Orca Golf,
because they're based in the not based, but they are more available in the UK, as far as I know.
That sort of thing. So look up Orca and see if you can talk to those guys. They'll offer similar style heads.
I think that is the advice. Okay, for Tate, Ian, could you compare your Miuras and T100s in ball speed, forgiveness, and offset? Yeah. He definitely can, and he will.
So,
I don't remember you losing ball speed.
I have not lost any.
I don't remember you losing ball speed.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
And forgiveness. I would say the T100, being a multi-material golf club, is slightly more forgiving.
Maybe like on a thin shot. Is there anything specific you think?
I can't really think of a scenario where, I was protected, but just moving the strike lateral across the face because of where that tungsten is. I think I had more forgiveness. I think that's maybe just my logical mind taking over than what I actually saw practically.
Functionally, you may not actually
notice. Didn't really see that too much.
That's fair.
I really have grown a fondness for the feel of the Miura, though, I have to say that. And I used to hit Miuras and go, I'm not saying I don't know what the fuss was about. I used to always go, it doesn't like, I don't get a wow factor.
I'm not like falling over from it.
I'm not like, wow, this is
You're
like
fainting.
The first time you try fine wine and you're like, okay, that's different. Like, it wasn't like that for me.
Okay.
But
you weren't drinking shit wine. That's the difference.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you were already.
That's very true.
You know what I mean? Like you weren't. Yeah. You weren't drinking box wine.
Already in the vintage section.
Yeah.
But
offset. Sorry, that was the last piece.
Offset. No real difference. The biggest difference, I would say, is the Miura has a fractionally more square top line. The top line in the T100 is a little more rounded, and the sole is a little bit wider in the Miura. But with the pre-worn leading edge, it's functionally very similar. Kind of thing. I just think the Miura is fractionally squarer in all ways, whether it's up to the lines on the toe, the lines on the sole, everything. The T100, if you think, for me, I always look at it, it's very rounded.
That's probably why I like it.
Lots of edges been
like
taken away.
Soft look to it.
Yeah, when you take the edges away, the club looks quite a lot smaller as well. When you take something, if you measure the widest point to the widest point, and then you look at a square top edge, and then you take away those corners. It's still at the widest point, still the same, but you take the corners away. Yes, it actually looks a lot smaller.
That makes sense.
So subtle little things like that.
I mean, you did like the T100s. It's still
really
good,
liked
but
them.
There's a reason why the Miuras may suit somebody's eye for sure. No doubt about it. All right. Let's just take this one really quick. Antonio's asking about how long until you would switch wedges out for wear.
I would say for most people, look at it every 2 years. Perfect. Yeah, if you play a lot of golf, I would say annually is a must.
100 rounds?
Yeah.
However long that takes?
100 rounds, however long that takes, yeah. So that for most people will be 2 to 3 years.
Love it. Do you have one ready?
Yep. Question to Matty from Stuart. How long have you been a pro? You're not a pro.
I was a pro, Stuart. I was a pro for, was the age of probably 19 to about 24-ish.
Yeah.
So, that was my career for quite a while. It was great for me. But I moved on to being a little bit more on the business side, and I have allowed my card to expire so that I can play some just enjoyable amateur golf. Yeah.
It's funny, we always end up having these conversations on camera.
I know.
I was talking to someone, one of my good friends the other day. Would you ever like want to go and play like some AM qualifiers, mid-AM qualifiers? We're going to go down and play the US mid-AM qualifier next year. We're going to take a little road trip and go do the US mid-AM and AM qualifiers.
I'm
COVID permitting, obviously.
Of course, yeah. I would say in the last 6 months, my hesitation towards playing competitive golf is going away.
Good.
So
that's cool.
That's my input for you.
Yeah.
So
I think we're looking at like just it'll be a cool boys trip.
That's the thing, yeah. But I'm starting to see why a little bit of competition is it can be actually a little bit like exciting, fire you up, focus you, make you practice more, and the satisfaction in that situation. Like I remember I didn't play well in my club championship, but I made an eagle on a hole.
Yeah.
And I just remember being like, oh, this is
cool.
It's more exciting than normal kind of thing. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Definitely getting there.
Okay.
I'm open to it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So
I love stuff like that though. Like what you were talking about is, I love like that whole sort of journey. And
yeah,
we're
looking at it like, okay, there's a date set, there's a qualifier.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have an off season, so we're going to have like a little kind of practice, like a little group of us who practice through the week, through the winter, like winter league, and
hold each other accountable.
Yeah, a lot of that sort of stuff. Even like the amount of times we practice, working on our stuff, our games and stuff like that. So
that's a great idea.
Cool.
Love it. Love it.
Let's see here, Brian. Prefer count. I think that
Counterbalance.
Okay, count. Yeah.
We're getting good at this.
It's
like another language.
Prefer counterbalance fuel. Have 10C Orange Pro in the driver 3-wood and hybrid. Okay, but now 60 and the swing speed slowing down. Irons have lead tape on the head. Any less stiff alternatives? I think a brilliant one is Nemesis for you. There's Nemesis. You can do 65.05 if you're still playing. I'm not sure if you're playing stiff or X, but Nemesis is really, really smooth. I get such great feedback when people try that, and obviously, it's as counterbalance as anything in the market. We actually think it might be the most counterbalance shaft that we've ever tested.
Never tested anything else that was more, was it?
There's a new hybrid shaft coming out very, very soon, so we're looking forward to getting our hands on that one, Brian. So yeah, I'd say Nemesis would be my choice.
Love it. Okay, I've got one ready from. Oh, my scrolling finger is gonna.
So right.
Matty, another Matty. How can I reduce spin? Swinging 110, ball speed 160, getting 3,900 RPMs with a G410, 55 grams. I'm assuming SFT, so the SFT driver.
Or maybe stiff, 55 gram stiff.
Yeah, sorry, you're right. So regular G410 with a stiff 55 gram. Pro V1, okay. What's the best course of action here?
I'd say a Pro V1X spun more because it's a higher spin ball. It done what it was supposed to. Left dash Pro V1X would spin less for you, but I think try some stiffer profiles that in the shaft. I think that's one place to start. I mean, you're probably a candidate for some, like a 10C white 60X, something like that. Would be a nice place to start. Especially since you have a G410 headweight's a little bit heavier, so the shaft won't play as stiff. The other part is as well, you might have to turn the loft sleeve down a little bit to take the loft down. That head, obviously, the CG is quite far back, so effectively it plays like a driver with more loft because of that. So you might have to turn the loft down in order to try and get that spin rate and a better balance for you.
Gotcha. From Sean is asking about foresight putting compared to your Quintic. Quintic is what's being used in the studio?
Yeah. We haven't done an awful lot on foresight because it's not that far advanced yet. It's quite a lot. It's quite a lot more basic than what Quintic is. To be honest, right now in the marketplace, Quintic is. Is light years ahead of the competition. Yeah. I mean, and I'm talking light years.
Right. Nothing comes close.
Nothing comes close. I don't care if we're talking SAM, Capto, any of those sorts of things, because none of them measure ball roll.
Oh, really?
None of them.
They're all
measuring the movement of the club and that sort of thing. So, Luke. The back door pal, guys, is going to drop off some boxes.
FedEx or UPS.
Bangs the door. So I would say it's not fair to really compare Foresight and Quintic because you can compare nothing in Quintic. These are other dedicated systems for putting, and they are good. They are good systems for analysing, what the player does with the putter. But the reality is, unless you know the result, that's kind of like us going, let's have a look at your clubs. But we don't want to know your ball flight.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You can't do it.
They aren't launch monitors. That is a launch monitor in a way, right? Good. All right.
Sean Kirby's asking, I see Ping are now offering free Arcos sensors to eligible customers. Do you know anything more about it? Yeah, so it's part of or the new G710 range and can I think all Ping clubs moving forward, if you buy X amount of pieces will come with Arcos. Obviously, Cobra have been doing that for a while.
Yes, they have. Yep.
I expect, to be honest, other companies to follow suit. I don't see why not.
Right? Yeah, why
You know,
wouldn't
I think we're moving into this you know, data-driven era, and everyone you know, everyone seems to be kind of getting on board with the fact that more information is better. You know, all last week with my customers, been telling them about Arcos, been telling them about, you know, the sort of TXG Connect idea, where they stay in our library on the platform, and we can keep an eye on their numbers, and to see people's faces light up when you tell them you're going to get clubs and we're going to monitor you full time, your performance, to make sure that they work. Like at that point, it's like, well, why the heck wouldn't I get these clubs?
Why wouldn't I get?
Because there's, you know, you're basically guaranteeing me that if they don't work, you're going to find out why they don't work, and then you're going to make them work.
That's a great point. Yeah, the sort of the buyer's remorse fear is
gone.
pretty much removed.
It's all gone. You know, and people are crippled by that, you know, because it's the amount of money that you guys spend in clubs, or maybe thinking about spending clubs. The lingering thought is, well, what if I spend this and it doesn't work?
It's so true.
You know,
so
let's take that away. You know, it's like you know, a car company offering, you know, a 5-year warranty in the car. Anything happens to this car and it's on us, not you.
Yeah,
You go, why wouldn't I get this car?
Oh, I'll buy that tomorrow.
100%.
Great point.
All right.
This is a quick, easy one. Graphite Design GP. Speaking of graphite design, what are some shafts that are similar profile to the GP?
GP is pretty stout. It really is. Graphite Design actually have a great little chart on their own website. Yeah, it's really good.
Everything, eh?
And it breaks down the shaft. It breaks down the approach choice, all the different sections. So literally, if you have a favorite shaft that you've used from Graphite Design over the years, so there's the full so the full Graphite Design, you know, the comparison chart right there.
15, 20 shafts.
So you've kind of got the butt section, the mid section, tip section, launch and spin. So GP, so there's your sort of your 5 different designations. Very stiff, firm, medium and soft. And they'll actually do subsections, so they'll do like firm plus. So if you're between stiff and, so GP is firm plus, firm, very stiff. So a lot of feel in the handle, and very, very stiff at the tip section, very tensy white, very, you know, Acra TZ5, you know, those types of profile. So they designate that mid-launch, low spin, just tells you it's pretty stiff down at the bottom, and has a little bit of a softer kind of mid and butt section. So
perfect.
For anyone who's, it's great, isn't it?
Really
for anyone who's curious about that, just go over to the Graphite Design website, look at the shafts, go to the woods section, golf shaft menu, go to woods, and literally every shaft from there, there's all the Iture Ds. DI, DJ, BB, MT, MJ, 9003, GP, all the way up.
They should have an acronym page.
Yeah, there's tons.
A glossary. Perfect. All right. Oh, nice. Okay. So we've got someone that was fitted for a driver with John, which is great. So we got an F9 Cobra driver, Fuji Pro 2.0, irons, Forge Tech with O-bands, lovely. Hybrid is super reliable. An F9. So we basically got Cobra throughout. What do you think on a 3-wood recommendation?
Hybrid super reliable F9 with an Atmos. Fitted by John TXG, F9, Fuji Pro, okay, 6X, irons are Force Tech, so Cobra fan. You could stay in the Cobra family if you would like, and we certainly thought the fairway wood was decent. You know, going off of our fairway wood bracket, I mean, I think Sim, you know, we saw was a machine.
It was.
So I think it's pretty hard to see by one of the Sim heads, Sim Max or standard Sim Titanium. Do you know what, we found some M5 fairway woods in the drawer the other day.
Oh yeah.
That was an underrated fairway.
You think so?
With that plate and how movable that plate was in the bottom. I had a customer hitting that the other day, and it was really good. And you can pick those up for $300 now, Canadian. So probably $250, maybe less in the US. So, you know, if any of you are looking for something that's really high performance, that M5 was a really, really good one. Tiger still uses the 5.
That's right, he does. Yeah.
So that was a good one. What else? I mean, obviously TS3 we love the TS3. You can get a really good deal on those now that they're waiting on the new line coming in the next month or so.
Beautiful.
Devon's saying, Sim 3-wood will rock your world. Just don't buy the stock Ventus, it's trash. And Devon, and that's the thing with stock shafts, isn't it? You know, because we tested that shaft and we actually found it was okay, but it's not obviously for you. You know, it didn't work for you, so you know, your opinion on that one is that it's garbage, but someone else will chime in a second and go, well, I actually really like the Ventus shaft,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But that's the yin and the yang when it comes to the, you know, aftermarket shafts. Some people like them, some people don't. They're not necessarily bad shafts, it's just a shaft.
Yes.
But there might be, you know, 10 other ones that are better for you.
Different strokes for different folks.
That's
type of scenario. All right, Josh is asking about a forward suggestion. He is a 104 to 107 swing speed with a driver. Forward suggestion. Okay, so there's only certain companies that have forwards. We know that. You can get, what, a Sim Max 16?
Sim Max 60.
Is that right? Can you get a 16 in that?
In the, what's that? In the
If you're looking for a forward Loft. So you can get a TS3 for sure.
16.5, yep.
That's a great choice.
Yep, G410, and you can get the 17.5, turn it down to 16.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Forward.
can do Epic Flash. They did not make Epic Flash in forward because it was adjustable, but you can get a Maverick forward.
Yep. Maverick forward would be a great choice
Yeah,
also.
good. Yeah, really good head, that little Maverick.
Yeah. Yeah, you're on the right track, Josh. Any of those. I mean, obviously, do a little demo session, but yep, you're barking up the correct tree. All right. I'll move through some of these.
Russ Savage in the house. Morning, Russ.
Morning, Russ.
Hope you're doing good, buddy.
David's asking about, I plan on a month-long multi-session full bag fit. Okay, so he's going to go in many times. How would you recommend splitting this? How do you manage gapping between parts of the bag?
Month-long multi-session.
I'm assuming you just mean you're going like once a week or something. I'm guessing it's not a 30-day
I wouldn't
fit.
recommend that.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good.
I don't think that's the way to do it, to be honest, to go in multiple times and have you know, different versions, you know, say different versions of yourself, but I think you're going to leave yourself with quite a lot of, you know, doubt as to kind of what you should get based on how you feel on the day.
True.
The reality is managing how you feel on the day is part of the skill of the game. We never feel great. We never always feel awful. We're always different, but I wouldn't recommend, I would just say pick a time, you know, when you're swinging pretty well, hitting the ball pretty well, that's a good time to go get fit. But I wouldn't, my personal, David, you do what you think is right to manage your energy, but I don't recommend doing that over multiple
2 at most.
sessions.
Is that fair?
I like 2.
Okay. 2
I
sessions.
like a long game and a short game.
Perfect.
Let's get the big swings out the way and then let's focus on the short game. That's my preference for doing it.
Good. I like it.
Roger saying, don't laugh at the competition video I sent.
No, we won't
I can't
laugh,
wait to
Roger,
see
don't
it.
worry. We're gonna enjoy, believe me, we're going to enjoy them, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Rochi's in the house. Morning, you dirty dogs.
Rochi, morning you.
Rochi boy.
You dirty dog.
I know.
Love
the dirtiest of dogs.
All right. What in the fitting would have you recommend ascending versus constant weight iron shafts? Dynamic gold versus AMT white, for example.
Yeah, a few different things. I'm a big fan of AMT. I think I've said that many times. I would look at it as something where maybe someone was struggling to manage a certain apex in their long irons. Maybe their long irons flatten out too much and get a little bit low on the flight. I think that's something I would see. I think a junior golfer moving from certainly lightweight stuff and maybe they've kind of had a big speed jump, a growth spurt. And all of a sudden they've went from regular shafts and, you know, at times they often need like X-Flex shafts. But you can't just throw them into, you know, X100s, you got to manage them. So like an AMT white X100 is good because then 4 irons at 112 and 5 iron at 115, 6 iron at 118 and, you know, making that sort of more progressive is a nice way to do it. So physically being able to manage the weight of the shaft in the longer clubs is part of my consideration as well.
Love it. Very good.
We've got a few of the competition winners in here. Kevin Wu saying, don't worry, Roger, mine pretty cringy
That's right,
as
Kevin.
well.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I saw Rob. There's a Rob in there too. I
Nice.
saw him. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice. Yep,
The
awesome.
excitement is building.
It is.
All right. Another David is asking us, haven't found a shaft I like for my Gapper 4, Gapper High.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to try steel. Is the same shaft that I have in my irons the best bet, or should I do something lighter? Modus 120X. So a Modus 120X and a Gapper High 4 hybrid is the question.
Yeah, I would do something. I would do something a little bit lighter.
He's got a CK White 90X and his 2 iron.
Yeah, yeah. I would say 12. I would say maybe even something like Nippon Modus 105X, which takes you up to about 112. Would be quite nice.
Nice.
Bearing in mind that's raw, so by the time you cut it into length, it's probably just sub 110. Probably quite a good option.
Nice, good. Makes sense. A few people saying this: buy a TS driver now or wait until they get replaced. Honestly, the amount that they're charging right now, I would buy a TS driver. As good as those drivers are.
I would say that.
Unless you want the latest and greatest, like $400 Canadian for that driver is a joke. An absolute joke.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people, and I've seen a lot of comments about the TXG pre-owned idea, making it to sort of members only.
We can make stuff. I mean, we could offer early releases, but you wouldn't do it for members only. Believe me, we love the members, but
we do.
There's 600 of you, which is great. But I don't want you guys to be the only ones who would have access to it. But maybe we could do some. I mean, certainly would do specials and
like
stuff
an early access, maybe like a week early or something like that.
Sales here and there.
Something.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion, and we were 100%. We can incorporate something like that.
We are. I mean, there are quite a lot of talks going on right now, and Matt is kind of heading those with regards to things that will be sort of limited edition and certainly member benefits and things like that. So that's definitely in the works right now. So we
did with the merchandise. Same stuff.
Yeah.
Now the only reason there hasn't been more of that is because the world shut down. But the fall we are definitely prioritizing some sexy new merchandise of various types.
Yeah. Devin just chimed back in. It's trash. Regards, Ventus was short-sighted on my part. But fair enough, Devin. But in experience, the stock S version is unstable compared to the aftermarket. That's
fair.
I completely agree. Yeah. We said the exact same thing. Like it's just not. It's not as stable. I mean, when you dive into the weeds in that Ventus with the Velo core, and then you see what the stock version has, and it doesn't have the premium materials, and it doesn't have the balance of the pitch 70 ton fiber, which is the really strong layers in there, and it has the 30 and 20 and 40 pitch fiber in there, which is more for the feel element of it, so not quite as stiff as the others. So that's the beauty of Ventus, is the layering and how that gives you the best of both worlds, the feel combined with the stability. So obviously the Ventus stock shaft was not engineered with the same materials in mind.
Right.
It was more just probably a bend profile, but here's we have a budget available. And guys, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah,
these
it has
things.
to be, right?
There's a budget available for these things, and they went, well, for the budget we have, here's the materials we have at our disposal. It's just not the same materials available for the aftermarket version.
Yeah, and it's meant to fit a wide variety of players, which it probably does.
Definitely.
All right.
Yep.
Alex is asking, what shafts would you say have the softest butt section relative to the mid and tip section? So basically, relative to the shaft itself, softer in the handle kind of area. When are we coming to play Torrey Pines? As soon as possible, Alex. As soon as possible.
We would love to, yeah.
As soon as possible.
What is the softest butt sections? Well, here's a sort of general rule of thumb. The stiffer, the more a shaft is designated as low launch, low spin, generally you will find the softer butt sections in those ones, because you have to provide stiffness and or less deflection down at where the head is, right? But you also can't make the full shaft just stiff. You just can't do that because it loses all the feel. So the layering and the management of the three sections of the shaft is how you go about that. So you might look at something like something a smoother butt section, like a Tensei white, like a Ventus blue has a little bit of a softer butt section. There's the shafts like that. What else is a softer butt section? Certainly TZ5 would have a little bit of a softer butt section. Again, just under the handle, because all the stiffness is down at the tip section. So you got to retain that feel at the hands.
True. Sounds like most of those stiffer end shafts, the butt section is usually.
Yeah, that's generally how it goes. There's a few examples, like Ventus Black, for example. Like, it's very stiff in the butt section, so it's it's stiff, soft, stiff. So it's not quite as soft and stiff and in the middle as some of the other ones, but it's very tip stiff and very butt stiff. So it's kind of a loader who also wants a lot more stability down the tip section, that sort of feel.
Love it. All right.
Bryce is saying Rory back in the Tensei Orange.
He's got the AV.
He's got the AV. Yeah.
Difference between that and his curve kanji.
So the difference in the AV is obviously the Ray likes firm butts.
Bandit likes soft butts. To each their own.
The AV sort of material in that butt section has allowed them to add a layer of extremely stiff material. So it just plays a little bit more stable for Rory in that handle section.
I'm not surprised he likes that. That AV raw.
He said he spun it a little bit more.
Sorry, I think I locked Luke out here.
What's that?
Did he spin it? I think I locked Luke out.
All right. He spun it a little bit more, he said, and he was able to hit a few more fairways as a result.
Is it good? Yeah. That's interesting, eh? Just like a strike pattern thing, maybe, for him. You wouldn't think it would be that much different.
Yeah, I think he just kind of found he was. It just comes back to that. That kind of debate, that big debate that we've had many times with people on. He's looking to not spin it quite as low, so you can hit it a bit straighter.
Yes.
And then that comes back to, well, doesn't added spin, if there was only a single axis, doesn't that curve the ball more?
Right.
It's back to that again. But everyone who goes to hit it a little bit straighter looks for a bit more spin.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yes, 100%.
I do that for you guys, for people when I work with them.
Yes.
If I want you to hit it a little bit straighter, generally I'm going to widen your spin loft window. You'll generally hit it a little bit straighter. But I completely get the physics behind, well, if spin is what we need, if a spinnier ball is easier to curve than a low spin ball, then, well, how can it be straighter if we're adding more spin? But it's functionally how we achieve that through a wider spin loft window. It's like, we always say, like, a pitching wedge and a 7-iron. It's easier to curve a 7-iron than a pitching wedge.
Yes.
But it has more spin. But the spin loft window is wider, right? But so it's just the management of the face on the D plane makes it a little bit more difficult to curve it, because we have a higher spin loft.
That loft window, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's very interesting.
It is.
It's just hard to actually button down the explanation, I guess, without going nuts into the science of it.
It is. Yeah.
All right, on a butt section chat going on here. On a butt section chat, Simon says, what do you suggest for beginners without a stable, I'm assuming consistent swing? I've been boring but need to buy for my lessons. Okay. Oh no, you took this one already, sorry. That was Simon. We talked about golf sub 70 for Simon. Perfect.
Yeah. Will is asking, boys, is it true with all the balls that in the firmer version of the golf ball spins more around the green? So do the firmer ones spin around the green? They vary, don't they?
They do vary.
The firmer ones are just that. They're firmer.
Yes.
They don't necessarily also speak to the cover.
That's true, because
right?
there's a separation there.
There is a difference. So
right.
Some companies do prefer their firmer golf ball to have a slightly firmer cover and spin a little bit less. Others like the firmer golf ball to spin a little bit more. So again, I think it's only just
not a hard and fast rule then, is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
We've definitely seen that.
We've seen a little bit of switchback, okay.
Robert, overall impression of the 921 Forged? We love them, don't we?
Yeah, we'll do two birds with one stone. Joe was asking about that with the 921 Forged and 770s. So yeah, the 921 Forged I think is a great iron. It's exactly what we were hoping it would be.
That's the sort of big head-to-head that's going to happen for the next 12 months, isn't it?
In the Bay, probably.
100%. Like it'll be interesting to see if anyone else joins that, because that is going to be the big match.
Any other companies come out with an iron that's just that?
That's comparable. The big problem people have with those 770s though is, when do you think you can get them now?
That's what, well, I actually played 9 holes with Alex at the club, and he said it's like, what, December?
December.
So they had an issue getting stock or something?
I mean, I don't know how that's...
That's going to be a problem, yeah. It's like, oh, here's the best release ever. Oh, damn.
Here's something for you all to get excited about, and you can't get it till
for
December.
4 months.
Devastating. I mean, I get, like,
it is what it is.
Hard to forecast, difficult times. I wouldn't want that job
no,
myself,
God, no.
but it is on our side of the fence. When we get so fired up about a product and so excited about it, we're looking forward to selling it for the next 4 months. Never mind, it being a 4-month headache, which is now what it has become.
Which is what it's become. Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Marcos is asking, will we be testing Encore golf balls? We can.
We can.
We've been going a little nuts on direct-to-consumer stuff recently, so we may pump the brakes, but eventually, Marcos, I would say, why not? Here's another quick kind of iron comparison. So can you compare P7MC to T100 to JPX? I would say T100 is more forgiving than a P7MC.
Agreed.
I would say JPX Tour is kind of like the P7MC. So those two are close, although they look quite a bit different, and the T100 sort of a bit
100%.
more relatively. It's certainly not large, but it's a bit larger, right?
Yeah. 3 great irons though.
So
if you come in looking for one of those irons, the chances are, the fitter's going to have you hit those other 2 because they are of a similar nature.
Yeah. Good point. Okay, let's just keep going. John, our pal John, is asking, would customers be able to test the off brands that you have in the shop? And maybe
some of them. We're not a supplier of sub 70.
Right. Sorry, we're talking direct to consumer stuff.
Yeah.
You have. Do we still have a bit of new level in the drawer?
We have some new level.
Some new levels in there.
There's some new ones just came out, which actually look really nice.
Good. There's a Haywood iron.
There's Haywood. Josh's original iron is in both locations.
Okay. So we have a couple, John. I mean, needless to say, you can't go nuts. You can't have them all. But safe to say, you'd probably, for this foreseeable future, have 1 or 2 in there.
New Level and Haywood right now are the 2 that offer that to this point. And who knows? I mean, I think with sub 70, they certainly, we enjoyed the video and the guys loved the content and stuff like that, which was great. So I think you'll probably see a really good relationship with us develop with them over the next little while, which we're excited about.
Love it.
So, they've even reached out to us about doing some product testing for them. So
that's pretty interesting.
Some new product and stuff like that, which happy to do do that sort of stuff and give them the thoughts. I mean, it's one thing I think, I call these R&D Mondays now. That's what it feels like to me when we come in and do this sort of stuff. I feel like it's R&D Mondays.
Filming our R&D.
Yeah, because we get a chance to establish thoughts and theories and things like that. Get to chat and try new product that isn't even out yet. And
it's true. It's very true.
It has definitely has changed my opinion on a lot of equipment related stuff. And to be honest, like it's given me a chance to establish way better sort of thoughts and knowledge on all the products.
That's interesting. As a supplement to sort of like what you learn in the bay.
Definitely.
This is kind of the homework that happens beforehand.
This to me is my favorite part of the week because of that. It's kind of like a chance to test different things and see what sticks and then go and apply it through the week. And
because you can say, I hit that on Monday. This is what I think. Yeah, that's
golf ball selection, shaft choices, hearing how different things react for you, and then somebody comes in the bay and we can try those things with them.
That's a great point.
Yep.
Great point.
Russ Savage, does R&D stand for raw and dirty? Maybe
it can, I'm sure. Synthetic Evil, whatever that means. I'm looking to get a set of Mizuno 919 hot metals. Should I wait and get the 921s instead? Is there a difference that would justify the price? Interesting question. Hot metals.
Well, we've seen all the data and things like that. There's a difference. There's been improvements made.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say discount the old product. I think 919 is still a great lineup. So
fantastic,
if budget is something that's on your mind and that sort of thing, then I would probably give them a head-to-head try. And
good point.
I don't think you'll be disappointed what 919 offers versus 921. But I think you'll really enjoy 921 when you hit it. I thought there was some differences for me, like feel-wise and stuff like that. I really enjoyed You know, the feel of that chromoly when I was hitting the hot metal products last week. I actually loved it.
Yeah, you hit both, and then I think that price will either affect you or it won't. It will either be justifiable or it won't be.
Yeah.
All right, I just got fit for Wilson D7 forged irons, and love them, but the spin rates are a bit too low. What would you recommend to make up that lost spin? A golf ball change.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah, easy, low-hanging fruit. Yep. So again, you know, I continue to get unbelievable messages about people trying this Mizuno golf ball. Again, two people messaged me last week saying that they just struggled with spin all my life. Put that Mizuno golf ball that you guys like in the bag. Game changer. Now I'm sticking the ball in greens and getting spin rates I've never been able to achieve before.
Great.
Love it. Love it.
So good.
That's what it's all about.
Your less extreme recommendation is usually Pro V1X as kind of your.
Yeah.
It's a good spinning
Pro
ball.
V1X. Yeah.
If let's say he only wanted a few hundred RPM.
It used to always be the Bridgestone Tour BXS, but I feel like that golf ball just changed. The 2020. I'd actually like to do a head-to-head 2019 versus 2020.
I thought it was lower.
It was bizarre.
Because the old one was as spinny as it gets, basically.
Yeah.
Alexander wants to know about low spinning iron shafts. Your favorite thing. Currently in X100s, Nike Vapor Pro blades. Have trouble. Yeah, okay. It's a golf ball change again.
Golf ball change again,
Yeah,
Alexander. Yeah, I mean, I think X100s. X100s are generally not the low spin, low launch product that maybe they were once thought of. They're probably, of all those shafts in that category, they maybe actually hit it the highest. So something in the Project X line, C-Taper line, maybe the new Project X LS.
That's right.
Getting some good feedback on people really enjoying that. So
beautiful.
Aye.
All right. G-Fed 21 got fitted with a sim with an LA Golf Ozic Red Tie X.
Nice.
Okay. Current driver is a 910 D3 with a stock. Thoughts? I have S300s also.
Thought says you spent a lot of money on a shaft and should have just changed the head. Yeah,
that's fair because the sim is going to give you all the spin reduction and ball speed that you probably were missing.
Definitely.
But I mean, I'm sure the shaft is quite good.
Yeah,
was it totally necessary? Maybe.
Yeah, I would have also looked at that head. If you've changed the shaft and you're still living in excess with the spin, the bigger problem was the head all along.
It's good. So I mean, I think you've made a great choice there. Absolutely. All right, if you got one there.
Yeah. CC Morgan, can you adjust loft and lie on graphite shafted irons the same as normal as steel shafted irons? Absolutely.
Yeah. No difference.
No difference.
Great.
No difference at all.
This is nice from our pal Drew. Very nice, actually, Drew. You're spoiling us. Thank you.
Oh.
Drew loves the irons you fit him into and have a scotch on. We will do that, Drew. Thank you.
Drew.
That's very nice of you.
Thank you, my man.
Much obliged. I think we could have two scotches actually with that, or one expensive one.
Let's plan that. That'll be enough.
I mean, I've talked about drinking on the channel enough, haven't I? Rewind. How many times have I said that I wouldn't mind having a little beverage on the channel?
Whisker's convinced I'm drinking blueberry vodka today, apparently. Blueberry vodka and a pink drink.
Oh, that's funny. No, it's another kind of vice. Slightly more productive.
Essential on a Monday.
It is essential. Okay, we got a few more here, guys. Bear with us. Just want to make sure we get everyone a nice answer. Edward is asking, hazardous black 6.5, Aldo Latour green 75, 3-wood okay, looking to replace the head and need 5-wood recommendations. Hazardous, I will have trouble holding ground. Okay, I don't have to read this again, Edward. You lost me a bit. Okay, that's what's in his driver, hazardous black. That's what's in the 3-wood, Aldo Latour green.
Okay, looking to replace the head. Need 5-wood recommendations, hazardous, or will have trouble.
Okay, so you're basically saying, can a hazardous go into a 5-wood? Will you have trouble? I don't see why.
No, definitely not. 5-wood's going to go super high for almost everyone. There's no one. I've never really met anyone who hits 5-wood too low. Yeah,
because the loft is going to, and the loft and the CG will give you the height. The shaft is going to help you obviously time it and such. But
look at this guy.
Like that?
Look at this guy. Yeah.
Hi.
Agreed. I'll just get my stuff and leave. I'm no longer needed in the channel. Matty is fully up to speed. It's awesome.
I'm only confident in saying it when you're here. Because I say it, it's sort of like a question. Is this okay? Is this fine?
Andrew's asking, is Arcos Caddy helpful and worth the money.
It is. It's both.
It's both, and it's becoming increasingly more beneficial as the platform evolves, which is rapidly happening, to be honest. I think if you were an Arcos user over the last 18 months versus if you took it on today, your experience would be very different.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it has evolved an awful lot over the last little while. So
I agree with that.
I know there's a lot of other systems out there. Be fun to try some other ones.
There's
the compares it shots. Is it shot scope?
Shot scope seems to be the most mentioned.
What is that? Is that a wrist application? I know. Need to have a look at that.
I know.
All I know is, guys, that when it comes to us and our clients, we trust Arcos because of the back end engineering into this sort of, the hardware is great, but the software is unbelievable. The AI technology that is built into the Caddy and the smart learning that's involved with that sort of stuff, I just think that's unbelievable. Yeah, I really do.
No, I think you're spot on.
Yeah, Chris is asking, does Arcos do strokes gain data? It's just
started.
Just started it, literally a couple of weeks ago. So it does everything in strokes gain now. It'll actually plot round the green. It'll show you a green, and it'll show you your strokes gain from all those positions round the green. It's amazing.
Short game positions.
Yeah, or at any point. So off the tee, they're like, if you hit it 300 yards left, your strokes gain from that position is X. If you're 270 in the fairway, so you might actually find that your strokes gained is higher going 300 yards left than it is going 270 down the middle.
Because you're in like a pitching wedge or
that's
something.
That's it. So then it'll give you, okay, should I hit my driver? Should I hit my three? But it'll give you constantly, based on every single shot you face, your best opportunity to make the lowest score.
That's so cool.
On every shot.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
It's amazing.
Because 15 years ago, even that for tour stats would have been crazy, wouldn't it?
I know.
I mean, it's already, the consumer basically can get PGA Tour stats that weren't even existing 20 years ago. It's nuts.
It's amazing.
Bryce says that we should have a nighttime stream, couple of beverages, little sim golf.
That's
honestly,
that's very likely to happen.
It does sound good, Bryce. Yeah. I have to agree.
Chris is saying shot scope is a watch, so no phone in the pocket.
Oh, you're right. It is a watch. Nice.
So Arcos is no longer phone in pocket. Also, Caddy Link is a game changer.
Agreed.
So I've definitely enjoyed using it more. I used to find for the first probably 10 rounds or so I played with Arcos, I was kind of constantly on my phone, fidgeting,
Totally agree.
making sure I was getting everything right so it didn't skew the data.
Have you done the pin thing?
No, I haven't been using that. I just do it afterwards.
That's the last piece of the puzzle, is getting in the habit.
Yeah.
I think it'll be easier when you actually start
black belt on there. The heart of that. I came out with that black belt on.
If you were wearing a black belt with blue pants, you'd be under arrest.
I would be going back to bed to start the whole day again.
The fashion police would have literally arrested you, dragged your ass out of here. Right. Oh, what have I done? We're good. I think I over-scrolled.
Aiden is asking, any recommendations to get more spin on the greens, even clean shots around are running out? Aiden, definitely golf ball for you, pal, is going to be the way to go with that. Mm-hmm. Obviously, wedge fitting is going to be essential, making sure that you're getting the right turf interaction and stuff like that. So I would say, a combination of choosing the right golf ball, do a lot of testing, and also get a wedge fit.
That's a great advice. Find holes in your technique if needed, right? In a wedge fit, anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
How do you pronounce that? Is that an Irish name?
Probably Kieran.
Kieran. Forgive us if that's wrong. Shaft recommendation for a low strike on the driver. Good question. Current strike is high. Oh, okay, so to lower it. Sorry. Sounds familiar. Current setup is a TS2 stiff on limber.
Yeah, it wouldn't necessarily be just a shaft recommendation. You would actually want to run through some different combos with that. So, the problem with trying to suggest a shaft for that is trying to guarantee what the shaft's going to do dynamically. We know we can't do that. So some people, will have the shaft in more lead deflection than others. The amount of deflection a shaft is in will dictate how the strike is vertically on the face. So a shaft in more lead deflection will tend to move down the head. Like that, Something in a little bit less will tend to move up the head.
Just when you said that made me think, is it possible that he's like me, sort of lower dynamic loft? Because remember you said to me like, well, you're presenting the higher part of the face,
Yeah.
you're presenting the toe. If you had more dynamic loft,
Yeah.
let's say it was shaft or swing issue, you'd be presenting more of the bottom of the club? Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
To the strike
Definitely.
in that sense?
100%. Yeah, somebody who leans the shaft more hits it much higher
So
in
maybe
the
that's
head.
part of what he's feeling also.
Also, yeah, for sure.
Interesting
Definitely.
stuff, eh?
Yeah.
All right. I had one ready, pardon me.
Got.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know. what that is.
Russ says we have to call making long putts dropping ROMs from
Dropping
now on.
ROMs.
He did drop a ROM.
Dropping rams and drinking drams. Bandits saying Orca clubs are great. Interesting. I didn't know you tried them,
Yeah, I
Bandit,
didn't know
but
that
good to hear your thoughts
Yeah,
on
great.
it. Super chat here from London Nancy.
That's a good attempt. Yeah, that's a solid
that'll
attempt.
do it for me. Is it worth waiting on
That'll
the?
do it for me. Yeah.
Is it worth waiting on the new Strixon Z X7 and
TX5?
instead of the 785? Going for a fit today, and they don't have the new Strixon stuff yet. It depends where you're going. Obviously, the 785 is in the 585 is not available for us right now. So we've taken out the drawer until the new stock is in.
True. Bit of a sort of transitional period, I guess.
Yeah, I would say yes, it's worth waiting for.
Good point.
I would encourage you to wait and at least see what the new ones are. It's always a difficult thing buying a club at the end of its life cycle because then you go, oh, I wish I'd waited.
It's very hard to, even if the performance is just as good or even better, you're always going to be like, oh man, there's a newer model.
I know.
Hard to ignore that.
Yeah. Austin B is playing a Project Project A golf. Ball loves the feel and spin around the greens, but it spun too much in the mid irons. Try TB5, but too firm. Ball recommendations.
TB5.
All together now.
Perhaps in
TB5.
yellow also, Austin. The
Why
TB5
not?
yellow, like the man plays.
Why not?
You receive the ball right in the middle.
Great shout by Ben there. Did you try the tour response?
That's true.
Another
Tour
good
response
one.
might be lower spin and long
Yep.
irons.
Yep.
I got one here from Michael. Michael's got a TS3 with a Tour AD Deep Impact 6X or 6S. Sorry.
Yeah.
Numbers are good, but the face tends to be open. Okay. Shaft recommendation to help time it better. 94.
Mile an hour. So
Slightly into out.
Okay.
So he's just hitting a bit of a push, it sounds like, Michael. A bit
Average
of a
shaft,
push.
you've got the KBS Proto, and
pardon
the
me.
iron is the Tour V, which you hit both of those well.
Interesting, eh?
You know, you maybe at 94 miles an hour, Michael, maybe want to drop down a weight and just see if you can get that club to accelerate a little bit more and just slightly increase the rate of closure.
A 5
Maybe something
category?
in the fives, yeah, something like that. I think actually, believe it or not, going maybe something on the stiffer end in terms of the bend profile might help keep that face square and not kind of have the shaft kind of either in lag or stuck because of the weight. So maybe something like and it's not a readily available one, but like an Acra TZ555 M4 is something I would have you try. Something like a F1 Motori 55 stiff, that would be a lovely option for you.
Motori.
Yep. Even, what else we got? Diamana DF 5S is another one we carry, we do well with. So
Nice.
I'd look at weight and see if there's something that allows you to just get it to close over a little easier.
Yeah. Nice. Grab that one from Robert.
Robert's got fitted for the Ping, Hepler Fetch, and the Piper C, centre shafted. But any other brands recommended? Where do you start?
There's a million.
There's so many, but obviously if that's what worked for you in that sort of thing,
Stick with it,
stick with what it is. Like, if you're fitted for something, that's you going through the process of going through what's good for you. So try and stick with what was recommended, as long as you were happy with the results of the fit.
Yes.
Don't certainly. I wouldn't overthink it.
I agree. Yeah. Do what the chef recommends.
Yeah.
It's a quick one from Tom here.
Yep.
So it's basically saying if you've got G410, and this is just an example,
Yeah.
the sort of incremental changes year to year with a company like Ping, are you generally pretty safe to like update?
Let's go from G400, which we love, to G410.
Yes.
If you need what was updated, the answer would be yes. So if you're a good solid striker, would you benefit from a G400 to a G410? Probably not.
Probably not.
Right, you hit your G400 great.
Yes.
You hit your G410 really good as well.
Yeah. You're talking about the heel and toe adjustability.
If you utilize that CG adjuster on there, then yes, you probably really like the G410. But if not, then like thinking of someone like a Scott Anderson who we played with at the PGA show at Orange County. Like he's still in the G400.
That's right.
Because what he needed from that head, there was nothing the G410 offered him that was any better than that.
True.
Just in for him personally. So it depends really what you need, and if that technology is likely to help.
Good answer. Okay. Take one more here if you don't mind.
Okay.
Jason is a swing speed of 100 miles an hour with the driver, very aggressive tempo, fitted into Tensi CK Pro Orange in the driver. Iron shaft for Jason. Iron shaft recommendations based on that data.
100 fitted into a Pro Orange. Very aggressive tempo. I would say Project X 6.0 on that.
Love it.
Yeah, 120 grams, a little bit firmer butt section, and the tip section gets progressively stiffer as the shaft gets heavier.
Was that right?
Yeah. So generally the butt section, the midsection remain the same. The difference between the 5.0, 5.5, 6 is the progressively stiffer tip section.
Okay.
More material, that's where the added weight comes from. So it doesn't actually change too much in the handle profile.
Very interesting. Is that so that the feel is retained? Because that's where you get most of the feel from?
Yeah.
We caught up. I'm proud of us.
I think there was one there. Vinny put in a little one there and then left a question below.
I'll put it up on the screen.
Vinny, hi from New Zealand.
Hello.
Undecided between hard stepping Project X 5s or soft stepping 6.0s. Like the idea of soft stepping so you can play a heavier shaft, but will it be too stiff? At 106, definitely not, Vinny. No, at 106, no.
Speedy.
I think, to be honest, you could probably play 6.0s straight up at 106. In fact, I know you could. It's just going to be what your preference for feel is. So if you're fast enough to play 6.0s straight in, but if you like a slightly softer feeling shaft, by all means go soft stepped on the 6.0. But I would say 6.0 over 5.5 for sure.
Perfect. Great.
Yeah.
The nuances of the club build there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Some closing remarks, perhaps?
Yeah, closing remarks.
In conclusion.
Positive response on pre-owned. TXG
yes,
pre-owned.
more to come on that, for
Definitely
sure.
some gives us some food for thought for our meetings on that this week.
I saw one, people were asking about shipping to the States. Don't be concerned like it would be $50 to ship. I think in a lot of cases it's cheaper for us to ship to the States.
In many cases it's cheaper
within
for
Canada.
us to do that, yeah.
So I wouldn't, don't dismiss it. I know we're in Canada, but to be honest with you, it probably costs more to send it to Vancouver than it does to send it to Florida.
Dennis put in a super chat at 22 minutes and put the question below at 24.
Oh boy, Dennis, I'm on the hunt.
We will try and find it, Dennis.
The separation between those two makes it hard to find.
I
will look though. Allow me to look. Grab something while I stare into the screen. I stare into the abyss. Oh, Dennis.
Josh, I'll send you a little email later today, Josh. So Josh was in for a fit last week. That's a recommendation from Nyan Choi. Yeah, which was nice. So I touched base with her last week.
How's she doing?
She's good. Yeah. She's good.
Is she playing in the current events right now?
She never went over to do the UK stuff.
There was a ton of UK stuff too, wasn't there?
Yeah. So she's never done the Ladies Scottish Open or the British or the UK the Open Championship.
But they're back in the States now, right?
Yeah. So I think she's waiting for that sort of stuff.
Dennis, I'm on the prowl. I've almost found it. There it is.
Christopher is asking, what are the wait times to get fit at TXG once the border opens? I think the bigger problem is when the border opens. I don't think that's going to be any time soon.
It's a giant question mark, and I wouldn't expect it soon.
I wouldn't expect it anytime soon. But the reality is, it's not going to be 2020.
No.
And by the time, Christopher, that we get into 2021, our lead times will be a lot less because we now have the 2 extra bays, and we're getting through that lead time, or that wait list is really kind of starting to come down, which is great. Good. So I think by the time the border opens, you'll be able to get in within a few weeks.
Good. check in maybe in November, December, and see how we're doing.
Definitely.
I found Dennis.
Good.
I found you, Dennis.
Found.
Dennis plays Project X 6.0 Florida pitching wedge and his gap wedge. They feel great in his P760s. Lovely. Shaft recommendations for his sand and lob wedge. Let's do that first. It's a two-parter.
We could certainly do...
Quick transition. So I mean, basically wedge shafts for that, right?
Yep. I would say, Dennis, you could certainly do something like... You could do some LZs in there, so 120 LZs, some Project X LZs, a little bit softer, a little bit more feel to that. If you do want to go with something a little bit on the heavier side of things, like an S200 would actually be really nice for you. Just a standard Wedge Flex S200 would be really good also.
Very nice. Yeah, good.
And then Graphite or for driving iron. Graphite design, something in the sort of 95 stiff range would be really nice.
You don't really recommend steel very often. It's unlikely that would help. So
almost never.
Stick with graphite, Dennis.
Almost never.
So graphite design. What's that? DI is usually the nice driving iron shaft that you like. Deep impact.
Deep impact
for you, Dennis.
Yeah. Bryce is asking, Ian, what is your wait time for fitting right now? It's sometime in 2021. So my books are closed for the year. I think there's a couple hundred people on there, but Bryce, I don't have anything available anytime soon, and yeah, we're trying to kind of figure what that looks like for next year.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Bryce, I feel like we see you though. I do feel like we see you every week.
We do.
In a way. In a good way.
We do. So yeah, I don't know, Bryce, when that will be, unfortunately.
Sometime in the near future. Yeah, all right. Good live. Good
Great
attendance
live.
As always.
Yeah, really tons and tons of
questions. Yeah,
tons and tons of questions. As always, I don't think we missed anyone.
No, there was a few at the very beginning, guys, that were quick, and I put them in as text. So if you missed those, scroll back. Yep. But I think we're quite diligent this week.
A lot of people actually in the info emails. Can I book with you for mid-2022? No, not that far in advance.
It's too far in advance.
Yeah, even 2021, I'm not taking bookings for right now. There's too many things that we don't know might be in the future, opportunities, invites to certain events. Obviously, things that you and I are now kind of like privy to, which is great, going to launch events and stuff like that. So I won't be booking my own schedule, because that might mean we then have to miss. And because the reason for it is, guys, we don't want to let you down. And
we don't want to dump someone when you've got an appointment, obviously. No, it's good to have the freedom in your schedule to do this type of stuff that's so valuable. Absolutely.
Definitely so. So yeah, just whenever you're thinking. And the other thing I'll say, guys, is all of our fitters here are really good. You know, you definitely don't have to. It's not essential that you guys get fit, you know, with myself. I think the other boys are brilliant, and hopefully we get a chance to showcase what they do, you know, on the channel, you know, a little bit more over the next little while, going between both stores. The guys are all top notch, and basically what comes out of my mouth is exactly the same as what they would say anyway. You know, they just have their own style of delivering it, but ultimately there are very few times I'll ever look at something they recommended for someone and go, yeah, you were you know, a mile out there.
Good.
You know, and they often have more context for why they done it, even if I do question it. So I'll be like, okay,
you have a conversation about it. Yeah,
the guys are great.
Good.
The guys are great.
That is good.
Cool. Well, big thanks, guys. That was one of the most fun ones in a long time. Lots of great questions. Have a great week.
Good day of filming ahead. We got so much new product, which is lovely.
Hope you guys are enjoying the IGTV stuff. If you guys are not already on our Instagram, the official TXG, get on that.
Do it.
We're doing unique content on there. You guys seem to enjoy the
feedback has been great.
The match last week as well.
Oh my God, yeah. There's been so much good feedback about the match, about us playing opposite-handed, about doing different stuff that way. So I polled the members a little bit too on Discord and just thought, like, you know, what do you guys think of that? Some club testing like that at times. Everyone was really on board with it. The challenges too. So I think we stumbled upon a nice little nugget there.
Yeah, it was funny. I think we both surprised ourselves, even being able to manage a little three. Now it's indoors and the lie was nice. I don't know how we would do if the lie got a little squirrely. And
I still think we did pretty good.
We done all right. We done all right. I mean,
Can't be ashamed of it.
if we knew what those greens were going to be like,
Yeah, we obviously buggered up the settings on the first hole. That's
first
fair
hole,
enough.
yeah, I think we probably would have been a shot, probably a shot each better.
Oh, you would have definitely been a shot lower.
Yeah.
I honestly, I don't feel as much like I left the shot out there as you did, because you had a 3-footer that obviously went in and it just stopped. So in reality,
hit a brick wall.
Yeah, it just hit a wall. But
Well,
they're a laugh. They're absolutely.
They
a laugh.
were. It was a laugh. It was good
So
fun
funny.
to do it, and
So funny.
yeah, I mean, interesting to hear. Obviously, the feedback on you guys enjoy when we do less serious, less technically minded videos, and we actually enjoy that as well.
We do.
So
We do.
that's good to hear that you guys
Absolutely.
enjoy that.
Well, it's good. It's good that we feel that the support is there for it. I
Yeah.
mean, I think initially we were always like, well, I'm not sure if people want to see stuff except for the technical stuff. I don't know if people want to watch it, but it seems like for everyone involved, it's a good time.
We probably always thought like, oh, we'll stay in our lane.
I
There's
know.
lots of channels who do that kind of fun stuff, but some people might want to come to this channel for both of those things. So,
And we can do it.
yes,
We are more than capable.
we are,
And we will.
are. Good.
All right.
Excellent. All right, guys, have a great week.
Yes.
And get lots of golf in. Make sure you join us next week for our live. Stay in touch with us through Instagram. Lots of stuff coming this week on the IGTV.
At least 2 or 3.
Yeah, at least a couple. Yeah, at least every week we're going to try
3
to
last
do.
week, which was great.
I know.
Views were great, so
Really, really good.
it's awesome.
Excellent stuff. Okay,
All right.
guys, take care. Have a great week.